And we're back. Damon and Ebony gang. Today we're going to have two discussions.
Second time you introduce a video, bro.
Whatever. She was just sitting there drinking some water. So, like I said, we're going to have two discussions. Huh? No, we ain't. So, you can introduce the first discussion we're going to do.
Which one?
Pick, since I take control.
Okay, so we're moving on. Actually, we can discuss the Lil Fizz and Apryl Jones. Because Damon and I actually talked about this for 25 minutes yesterday because he was trying to, I feel like he was not being understanding of what I was saying. So he was overminding what I was thinking and where I was coming from. So go ahead. The question is, see, like right now, the question is, do you agree or do you disagree with Lil Fizz and Apryl Jones? Like, do you feel like there was a...
You gotta say their relationship.
With their relationship. You know, they're together now. Apryl Jones is...
Apryl Jones.
Omarion's baby's mother.
No, there's kids' fathers, man. Come on.
Kids' father. Okay, yeah. Or, what was I about to say? And Lil Fizz is B2K. We all know that. So I said, I never said I disagree with the situation. I just disagree with Apryl Jones choosing Lil Fizz, who I feel like at some point, and even if they were off and on, was close to Omarion, no matter if it was business or not. He says there was no guy.
You gotta let me explain my reason.
And this is why we can't agree. Because he feels that, and let me do me. Okay, go ahead.
No,
so that's my point. That's what's his
point. No, really say yours. I didn't say I disagreed with her. And I never said I disagree yesterday. No, I didn't.
I don't see your point.
You were just like I guess we gonna agree or disagree on this video. But yesterday I never said I didn't see her point. I said I could understand what you saying to a certain amount of degree, but then I told her why I felt how I felt.
Which overpowered mine?
But it's not. No, it didn't. It didn't. This is because I was a little bit more aggressive. Don't mean I'm overpowered. Overpowering saying I'm telling you I don't agree with nothing, and then what you saying is wrong. I never said it to you.
Okay, so tell your part because you got a lot to say.
No, this is how I feel, and this is not. All right, I really don't watch this. I watch certain shows like that.
Let me put this out there. I don't watch it at all.
Yeah,
so I never watched it. I've seen clips. I've never sat down and watched a full season when Lil Fizz, Omarion, or Apryl Jones was on Love and Hip Hop. So let me put that out there.
I don't know. Well, I'm just like how y'all is. I don't watch it like that. I just started watching the Hollywood, the third season. I watched the first two and then I ain't watched no more because I was really giving the reality TV show a lot because it was just too scripted. But I get the information like how y'all get it. Like, if it might happen to be on my timeline on YouTube if I'm watching some basketball highlights, I might check a video out. But since I've been watching, I'm just going to go off mine, what I've been watching from TV. I know it's two sides to every story and everything. I was just telling Ebony she said, everybody said the bro code and all this. Like, I understand that from how, I guess, when we hung out, if it wasn't like, if it's your homeboy, and like that's your ace, that's your dog or whatever, and he be like, well, no, nigga, don't, we know not to do that, like your baby mamas and if that happened to be your ex-wife or not. But I was just saying, if that's somebody in their case, how it was being displayed, yeah, they was young and they made money, but what we watch on TV, he said was more of a business relationship, which I understand that. But my thing is, who am I to say to damn they love because he was there when she was down. Now, Ebony was saying, like, yeah, when a woman is down, she going through a lot, and the man come around, she's vulnerable, which I do understand that. But that's vice versa. But at the same time, he was still, it don't matter. He was still respectful in my eyes because from off the show, I'm just going off the show.
Right, but if we gonna be...
You gonna let me finish?
Oh, now you see how I feel.
You could have won the first time.
You said, explain your part. You was like, and then I was like, go ahead.
For mine, he was respectful because he was there for her. He helped her out, not just in the area. I could see most guys creep. They wait till she get on her feet, then trying to do this, that, and the third. which we don't really know the dynamics of that because we only seeing what we see on TV. All I was just saying was, who am I to say, no, they shouldn't be together because I don't think he took advantage of her. At the same time, you never know. Certain people leave your life for a reason. Some people come in, you get closer to certain people, certain different people for a reason. So you never know. They might be a match made in heaven. Who knows?
It's 50,000 men in the world.
But
More
I mean,
than that. It's infinity men in the world, and people still producing men today right now. My thing is, you are so right. Shit, who are we to say, okay, y'all shouldn't be in love and she's not entitled to feel how she feels and vice versa? You're right. If Omarion didn't step up to the plate to be a father, I'm not going to support that. But I do feel that you can't sit up here and tell me that Little Fizz never seen April on set, off set, whether they was talking, whether Omarion and Little Fizz was talking or they wasn't talking before they broke up with the group and then after they rejoined for the concert. You can't tell me that he didn't know that them two were talking. And at some point in time, you got to know that April Jones and Omarion, they had to be talking about long term. Or even if they wasn't talking about long term, they were still together as one in a relationship, sharing all types of bodily fluids, family dynamics, everything. Then, like their little, what's the little girl?
No, she had 2 boys.
Oh, 2 boys. The youngest boy is only how old?
I don't know.
He ain't that old. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, it's still fresh. It's still fresh. And I just feel like she is entitled to who she loves, but I do feel like it's a bro code. And I just feel like for me, as a female, and me and my circle, the moment we see somebody that they didn't mess with, it's not even an option. You're not even in our view. We don't even look at you like that. There's no way I can pursue that because you were pursuing and had something going on with somebody who I consider my friend. That's just like me and my business partner.
I mean, yeah, but like, okay, if we want to do the history of some of the best bands, some of the worst bands, we didn't all watch Unsung. We didn't all watch Unsung and all that. A lot of people, we don't know the dynamics of these people's relationship outside of making music.
You're right, but you're taking up for it as if you know.
What I'm saying is this. She keep talking about the bro code. You can say the bro code. How many, as far as music wise in this industry, whatever, a lot of people have been, they've been cool. They was just cool with each other because they was working with them as far as business wise. We don't know the dynamics of their relationship outside the studio and outside them making money together. So that's all I was saying. So if they really did have a brotherhood and stuff like that outside of making music, okay, I can still get that. I understand that. But it's a lot of people who we never thought was not even cool, but they was only cool because they made music together. But they didn't mess with each other. It's a lot of successful groups that was cool and made a lot of music, but didn't really deal with each other outside of music.
That's crazy.
They didn't. I mean, they toured. We didn't see this. I mean, they didn't tour together and made millions, but some people really didn't deal with each other. If it wasn't about studio or touring or doing this and that, they really didn't have personal lives like that outside of a group. That's all I was saying. But then you got some groups that do, some groups that don't.
Right, because I was going to say, you got some groups that group is, that's all they know. But that's all they talk to, because guess what? They didn't build so many just historical bonds. You get what I'm saying? So some groups, the bond is all they know. I mean, the group is all they know. You know how that be.
I mean, which is true.
They more like siblings. Come in as friends, leave as brothers and sisters. That's what I'm saying with that dynamic.
We can say that because we always see the glimpse and the glam. What they made. We see the videos. We see the interview. You can do any
Omarion song right now. What would you do?
No, I'm not doing no damn Omarion song.
Omarion?
No.
You just said you was a fan of him yesterday because he did what?
I'm saying, what they got to do with me talking?
Because I had to break it up.
For what? We talking about discussing it. Dang, bro. That's all I'm just saying. So, that's all I'm saying. So, at the end of the day, who am I to stop it? At the end of the day, it ain't my life.
The same way, right?
We just wanted to I just wanted to speak on it to get y'all to interact so y'all can see, we can understand y'all feedback about it because, I mean, because some of this happens today. I mean, if you in the group or not. Because you got people who do deal with people just business-wise. They say what up to them and keep it moving, but they mainly mess with each other about money. Mm-hmm. So it's like you could get introduced, but I mean, you never know what cars might lead y'all to be with each other, man. I don't know. Like I told her, like, I don't know from what to what. We only see what we see. Who knows? But if she always say he never did nothing disrespectful, and he was there, and he was there when she really needed, and he was helping her out, and he never really turned. I mean,
Right.
who are we to say?
And
like
it's unfortunate that he had to be the person to step up to be that bonus dad or bonus friend when, you know, Omarion could have this, but you never know what Omarion was going to do. It's really unfortunate. And I think it sucks. I don't support that, but then you never know. Maybe Omarion has some things mentally going on, like we saw with Bow Wow.
Yeah, like, I mean, I ain't about to not. I mean, who am I to not?
Love is love.
I
It
can't-
is.
And love is love. But then I was trying to tell her, I said, if this really was an issue within them two, that tour wouldn't have did all the dates. Because the only person that we seen that really
But
had
you
an
just
issue.
said they would only be dealing with each other business. Bump
I
this
mean,
outside of relationship. We here for the money.
that what
I
you-
do talk to April, and that's it. We ain't got to talk about nothing else, even though we coming back for the reunion tour.
Which is true, but like I was just telling her, I said, but us being from Detroit or from Everett or from any neighborhood, if you really got an issue with a dog, you're one of your homeboys for real,
pulling up.
and y'all even if y'all making money, y'all ain't talked in a long time, but y'all making millions. If you really had an issue, we would. I ain't gonna say we. Who would know? Because if you some real people handle things behind closed doors. So
Right.
I think that
What would you do?
that tour wouldn't have went long. I don't think they would have been able to finish the tour out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Because
think.
it
I
would've
don't
been too
because
personal.
it would have been too personal.
Right.
But money is money. They grown. At the end of the day, they grown. They like
very
they not about to let
unfortunate, man.
no female come between $1 million. I mean that's just kind
What
of
if it was you?
If it was me,
And you
you
would
asking who am I supposed to be?
both?
I mean, if I was,
What if you were a little...
if I don't, but it's hard to say that because we don't nobody know why he really loved her.
Right.
So I can't say. At the end of the day, man, if you got love for an individual and you grown enough, if you really love them, you just want to see that person happy no matter what.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you do have people that come in that
If it's
genuinely
not,
care
if
for
it's
you.
bad, if it was just bad, toxic, and the relationship was terrible, I mean, would it rub me? It'll rub me. But if he making her happy, he making her happy. So, I mean.
So what was our solution?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, love is love. I mean, I can't judge him, but I just wanted to speak on it because we had two different views on it. So
We did.
I think it was a good conversation. So
And then we saw people posting...
they was like, what rubbed me wrong was, oh my bad, people was bashing them. And you know what's so funny? Because
It was like 50-50 though.
But more bashing. I seen more bashing, but let's be realistic. That's calling a spade a spade. It's niggas, let me start watching my mouth. It's individuals now who can slap a nigga hand right now and doing it right now to their best friend, man.
You're right.
Like, so what's the difference? I mean, it's a difference. And they
I
doing
guess
it,
I'm
and they
speaking
doing
more
it, and they
so
doing
my own personal standard, my own personal whole demeanor with that. I'm not doing that. I don't believe in that. That's not one of my beliefs. I just feel like I wouldn't do that.
And I guess why I took it to like that before because I had I ain't gonna say similar. I had a past encounter with the same thing. So I wasn't coming off as biased, but it was like well, my situation was I grew up with a young lady, and I knew her since I was like 13. So.
Are you living your truth right now?
Yeah, I'm living my truth. So
Oh,
I was
whoa.
13. So we knew each other since we was 13. So go to high school. I get cool with her guy at the time. We cool. We hang, whatever. So we hang, but then stuff gets out that some words were said about me from him. I asked, like, I was raised that if it's an issue, I don't go off he say, she say. I go talk to the individual. If you got an issue with a man, you go talk to that man himself, and then you just go off what he tell you. I can't go off what individual keeps saying to me.
Man, your tattoo look good.
Thank you. So he didn't. So he said that he didn't say it. So, but when more than after that, we squashed it. Stuff still said was said. That happened years later. Go back. So this is years later that me and this individual not cool no more. That's cool, but me and the young lady cool. She had plenty of relationships after that. I had plenty of relationships after that. Me and her was cool. That was my dog. That was my dog. Like real talk, that was my dog. So we end up just getting cool. We dated for a hot minute. Things just didn't work out, so it just went that way. So that's why I just want to speak on it because, I mean, in my book it was a lesson learned. Sometimes sometimes when it might seem like it's the present, it might be good to talk, but it's not worth it. So I can get from both sides. I can get from when she was saying like the Marion and then the bro code. But it's just like it's so much dynamics when y'all want to say bro code because it's like
And it could be.
And that
it is not could
if
be.
you
It
know
is.
somebody before this one, is it still wrong because I ended up getting cool? But then I had no choice but to get cool because I knew this person longer and we hung in the same circle. So
Shout out to Cuzzo and Shannon going in the group chat.
oh,
Sorry.
so but
I love y'all.
that's why we wanted to talk about that part.
I don't have no voice. It's going in and out, but
I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, man, as you get older, you learn and you grow. So I think everybody gonna judge you regardless if you doing right or wrong. 9 out of 10 of people who judging are, I don't want to say not happy. They just, everybody's talking to their own opinion.
everybody got their own opinion.
Everybody's got their own opinion.
You don't have to agree, but you don't have to disagree either.
Yeah.
You don't always say mutual. It's not affecting us.
No, I just wanted to speak on it because it's so lively. Everybody talking about it. So
is.
just wanted to see how y'all feel. Which I might get some backlash of what I used to do. But shit, I'm 32, man. I was in my 20s. I ain't perfect. Everybody
Still knocking on.
Everybody done did some shit or whatever. But
You right.
one thing I have done for all my wrongs, the next time around I try my best to right my wrongs. But I sat down and learned from my situation.
I've done that.
You got people who keep repeating it and try to be smarter about it.
But
I've
you got
people who try to.
And you know what? Since we live in our truth, I've had one of those incidents, and I didn't even tell the truth about it because I think mine wasn't on. Oh, I want to get with you, talk to you, and be with you. I think it was more so trying to get back at my ex. It wasn't like I was trying to get to know that person. So, like you said, definitely was wrong. I should admit it. And this was way back in college, and I can do is just do better. That's why I'm like I can't do that. So
man, as long as you learn from it. But see, it's funny because people pass judgment on other people, but y'all done been in a situation, y'all done did stuff too. Y'all just don't want to talk about it and don't need to because they feel like it ain't for people to know, which is true. It's not for us to know, but I mean, we live in a day and age where we just do this. Love is love, man. If you can find some real love, that shit is rare nowadays. So,
babe, when we got is rare.
It's 75 real. It's like, it's real. But I mean, to me, I'm happy for them. They seem like two cool individuals. They seem like they seem like they dope parents, man. And I can't judge them. It's like a lot of people was saying, I ain't cool with it. It's fine, but to each his own, which is true. But but for people to say that's some scandalous shit, it's hard to say. It's
just 50-50.
Yeah, it's 50-50 because you can't really say he was plotting. I mean, some shit really just.
No, people be having hidden agendas.
I mean, which is true. Some people have hidden agendas, but some people act some shit. Things really just happen, bro.
You're
like
right.
really. You might.
Hey, we really just have.
You ain't never. Everybody. I can't say everybody. Some people have been in situations you never looked at a person like this a day in your life, and they could have been everything you ever wanted, but you always overlooked them, or you had situations, and when you sit down and talk to somebody, get to know them, it's like you damn like this a nice individual.
You right.
So you never know. It could be both ways. If he was plotting or not, or whatever the case might be. I say no because he could have been at it. I believe he could have been got it if it was. But if not, then it is what it is. So that's the first topic.